श्री रंग अप्पा बारने।
Question number 463.
Sir, a statement is laid on the table of the House.
माननीय सदस्य।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, भारत में ऊर्जा सुरक्षा, पर्यावरण संरक्षण और कृषि परिष्ठ प्रबंधन को ध्यान में रखते हुए सीबीजी उत्पादन को बढ़ावा देने की आवश्यकता है। घरेलू ईंधन उत्पादन से आयात निर्भरता घटेगी और किसानों को परिष्ठ से आय का एक नया स्रोत मिलेगा। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय मंत्री जी से जानना चाहता हूं कि सीबीजी उत्पादन को बढ़ावा देने के लिए महाराष्ट्र में अब तक कितने संयंत्र स्थापित किए गए और इसके अगले 5 वर्षों में देश में और कितने सीबीजी संयंत्र स्थापित करने की योजना है।
Honorable Sir, the shift from traditional energy to clean, green energy involves a number of tracks. I might mention, as we have in the body of the answer, biofuel blending, green hydrogen, which is the energy for the future, and, as the honourable member raises, compressed biogas. Now, compressed biogas is an area where very ambitious targets have been set by the government. In fact, the plan is ultimately to establish sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, SATAT. The target is very large. Today, we have 94 CBG plants which are operational, and out of these 94, if I might add, sir, 11 of them are operational in Maharashtra. And we have in process, we have another around 70 CBG plants which are at various stages of construction. Sir, in order to encourage CBG, government is taking a number of steps, and I will, with your permission, sir, list out some of the incentives or steps we are taking to popularize the use of CBG. One is that we have a system of assured price for takeoff of CBG through long-term agreements with the oil marketing companies. Number two, we have an umbrella scheme of National Bioenergy Program by the MNRE Ministry, which is providing central financial assistance to all kinds of CBG and biogas plants. Additional central assistance is also being provided for municipal solid waste-based CBG plants under the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. Amongst the other things I might mention, sir, is that whenever somebody wants to set up a CBG plant, the government is providing assistance in terms of 50% of the cost of the plant by way of assistance upfront. Then there's a 10 crore capital subsidy from the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, inclusion of biomanure produced from CBG plants under the Fertilizer Control Order 1985. Market development assistance is being provided up to rupees 1.5 per kilogram for fertilized organic manure to promote organic fertilizer produced from CBG projects. So, you know, when you produce CBG, there is also manure produced which is very rich and which can be sold, so some assistance is providing for offtake from there. Inclusion of CBG projects under priority sector lending by the Reserve Bank of India. Rupees 1,000 crore scheme has been set up for 50%. Or zaroot nahi. I'd be happy to share very detailed information on this with the honourable member.
माननीय सदस्य।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मंत्री जी ने इस बारे में बहुत सारी अच्छी जानकारी दी। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, भारत की ऊर्जा सुरक्षा को मजबूत करने, पर्यावरण संरक्षण को बढ़ावा देने और आयाती जीवाश्म ईंधनों पर निर्भरता कम करने के लिए बायो सीएनजी, हरित हाइड्रोजन और इथेनॉल मिश्रित पेट्रोल जैसे स्वच्छ ईंधनों के व्यापक रूप से अपनाने की आवश्यकता है। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से जानना चाहता हूं कि देश में बायो सीएनजी, हरित हाइड्रोजन एवं इथेनॉल मिश्रित पेट्रोल जैसे स्वच्छ ईंधन को बढ़ावा देने के लिए मंत्रालय द्वारा क्या ठोस कदम उठाए और इसमें निजी निवेश को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए कोई विशेष प्रोत्साहन योजना लागू करने का विचार है क्या?
Sir, I should like to start by perhaps providing a little explanation that we are moving in overall terms from toxic fuels to cleaner fuels. This is not going to be an easy journey, it's going to be a long journey. I mean, even when this discussion at the international level commenced about doing away with fossil fuels, I mean, there were people, economists who in 1976 who predicted that oil would reach a peak by the year 2000. Didn't happen. Today, if you were to ask any economist working in the energy sector, by when will oil peak? I'm not so sure. Nobody will even stick their necks out. Today, India is consuming 6.3% of the world's primary energy, which will go up to 12.5% by the year 2050. So we have to try within this process to move away from all the traditional toxic fuels to cleaner and cleaner fuels. The honourable member mentioned biofuels. As far as biofuels are concerned, they're already a clean fuel. I mean, in the year 2014, when the Honourable Prime Minister assumed responsibility, our total biofuel blending was only 1.4%. In fact, in a previous era, a target was set for 5% biofuel blending in 10 of our states and union territories, and we were never able to proceed beyond 1.4%. We set ourselves a target of 10% blending by 2022 November. We were able to do that 5 months in advance. We set ourselves a target of 20% blending 6 years later from now. We've almost reached 20%. In fact, the last month's figures that we have, as my senior colleague would know, we've already reached 19.6%. So biofuels is doing very well. Now, you also mentioned green hydrogen. Green hydrogen, sir, I maintain is actually the energy, the fuel of the future. Why do I say it? Because in order to produce green hydrogen, all you require is clean, natural green solar energy, and you require electrolyzer, and you need to be able to scale that up with new technologies like pump storage, etc. That is proceeding very well. But the fact of the matter is that green hydrogen is a very new development. Now, what are the targets that we are setting for ourselves? The government has set a target of, I think, 5,000 metric tons for 2030. I personally believe that with the involvement of the private sector, and the honourable member had read that is too conservative a target. And I believe with new technologies like pump storage, with the cost of batteries internationally coming down, batteries having more storage, green hydrogen will take off. But when will it take off? I still think that we are only in 2025. Comes 2030 or so, I mean, the fact of the matter, sir, is that we spend annually $150 billion on the import of energy. Now, if we are in a position to produce green hydrogen, and the cost is the most important thing, the most optimistic figures I've seen is the cost of green hydrogen per kilo would be about $5 or so. And if we can bring it down to $2.5, I can understand that we will be in a situation where people will say, let's move from traditional toxic fuels to green hydrogen straight away. I should have mentioned our target is 5 million tons by 2030, not 5,000. That will slip off the tongue. But I also want to say that we have a government is doing whatever it can. The government introduced a PLI scheme for electrolyzers. And I think it's about 19,700 crores or 20,000 crores, and there's a very good offtake on that. Insofar as the other fuels are concerned, let me tell you, they have all the green energy, I think, has positive outputs. When we did biofuel blending, today we have saved something like 110,000 crores on import bill. And जैसे मैंने पहले कई बार कहा है, हमारे जो ऊर्जा दाता, they're also financing the ऊर्जा अन्नदाता. That money has been transferred to the agricultural sector, as a result of the savings in that. So the two are complementary. All the other areas of movement, there is definite progress in all the areas, but as I would like to say, sir, the progress has to be realistically assessed. Why do I say that? Because still a very large percentage of our economic needs on energy are met from coal and from fossil fuels.
Okay.
We are trying to progressively move away from that, and most of our assessments all over the world said India's growth will take place. The world
मंत्री जी,
BP
please.
outlook said 4 to 6% growth will take place, and well, I am always ready to oblige,
No,
sir,
no.
but I will just conclude by saying the International Energy Agency in Paris predicts that of all the growth that will take place in the next 20 years, 2 decades, 25% of that growth in energy will come from India. And it is our collective resolve that we will make more and more, we will shift to green energy, as is the thrust of this question.
श्रीमती भारती पारधी।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष जी। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ इस देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी को, जिनकी यह महत्वाकांक्षी योजना का क्रियान्वयन सुचारू रूप से पूरे देश में हो रहा है। और धन्यवाद साथ ही देना चाहती हूँ आदरणीय मंत्री जी का, जिन्होंने विस्तृत जानकारी मुझे दिया है। लेकिन मैं जानना चाहती हूँ, क्या मध्य प्रदेश में गैस ग्रिड और संबंधित बुनियादी ढांचे के विकास के लिए केंद्र सरकार द्वारा कोई विशेष योजना बनाई गई है, और इस योजना के लिए अब तक आवंटित धनराशि और अनुमानित व्यय का ब्यौरा क्या है? इसके अलावा इस योजना के तहत गैस ग्रिड की उपलब्धता और विकास के संबंधित अन्य बुनियादी ढांचे को मजबूत करने के लिए सरकार द्वारा क्या सुधारात्मक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं? विशेष रूप से बालाघाट सिवनी संसदीय क्षेत्र में जहां ऊर्जा और गैस आधारित ढांचे की उपलब्धता की दिशा में खास चुनौती है, वहां इस योजना के तहत सरकार द्वारा कौन से विशिष्ट प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं ताकि इस क्षेत्र में भी विकास कार्य को गति दी जा सके और स्थानीय जनसंख्या को इसका लाभ मिल सके? धन्यवाद।
Sir, after the 12th or 12A CGD bidding round, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board has authorized entities for the development of CGD network in 307 geographical areas, which almost covers the 100% of our mainland territory, sir. In fact, we are now moving to the island territories and other areas. Sir, but typically what happens when you set up a plant, wherever the CBG is being produced, you need to provide connectivity to the existing pipeline. So government is also providing incentives to make sure that this is going to move forward and take it to the pipeline so that the CBG producer is able to get a return on that straight away. There are other also incentives which I had mentioned when I was responding to the earlier member. Insofar as the areas which were covered, if it is Maharashtra that the figures that you have sought, Madam, Madhya Pradesh, I will share the figures straight away. I will just add the figures on Maharashtra with me. There are plants by HPCL, MNGL, IOCL in different places. But all states of the country, we are doing that. The precise figures from Madhya Pradesh, I should either have in a minute or have it. Madhya Pradesh, I have it. We have 17 installed CBG plants in Madhya Pradesh. The districts also I have. And wherever a CBG plant comes up, local area economic benefit takes place. The agricultural community benefits, all the others. I'd be very happy to sit with the honourable member and go through our experience in respect of the 94 CBG plants which are already operational and what more we can do in order to further generate economic activity through this.
मंडल संक्षिप्त में प्रश्न पूछो,
Yes,
संक्षिप्त
sir,
में जवाब
very
दो।
brief. Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to ask supplementary question. I would like to know from the Honourable Minister, through you, sir, so what steps is the Ministry taking to attract the domestic and foreign investment in clean energy initiative? And are there any research and development initiative focusing on carbon capture, storage, and utilization in collaboration with global partners? Thank you, sir.
Sir, the specific question is, do we have a system whereby we seek or allow foreign direct investment or foreign collaboration? The answer is yes. And green hydrogen, I think, is a case in point. I think one of the entities which is operating in that sector, if memory serves me right, they have something like $32 billion of foreign investment or collaborations which have come in for the production of green hydrogen. And I think in the first instance, they are producing green ammonia, which is being sold to entities in Europe and to Singapore. I know there's an entity in Singapore. They're setting up a new generation electricity plants with GE, and the green ammonia is going to be supplied by an Indian party. So the answer is yes. Insofar as overall our policies are concerned, Madam, it is our intention to take natural gas as a percentage in the energy mix from the current 6% to 15%. I would have been much happier if I could say that we are close to 15%. No, I think we are still closer to 6%, but we are moving clearly. And I think in the coming few years, we will be closer, inching forward to the 15%. This involves a foreign investment of $72 billion. And $72 billion will come from foreign investment. Because I think when technologies are incubated here, I can tell you, for instance, in the case of biofuels, some of the second generation plants which have been set up are all domestically produced technologies. I can tell you about the 2G plant in Panipat by IOCL that produces its own, it's a local party, I think in Pune, which has produced the technology. Also the bamboo plant in there. Insofar as carbon capture is concerned, I have met various global CEOs and like Occidental and other partners like Schlumberger who use carbon sequestration for enhanced oil recovery. But again, this is a larger subject. I'd be very happy to sit with the honourable member. I already see the presiding officer asking me to, but I'm always ready, sir, for a discussion like this. Thank you.
अध्यक्ष जी, नहीं अध्यक्ष जी, बड़ा सिंपल सवाल है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ग्लासगो में पंचामृत का आह्वान किया और यूक्रेन वार के बाद पता चला कि पूरे यूरोप को रूस ने जब गैस देने से मना कर दिया तो पूरी तबाही हो गई। हम पूरे सिस्टम को 33 करोड़ कंज्यूमर है, पूरे सिस्टम को हम सिटी गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, जिसके बारे में उन्होंने कहा 309 बिडिंग किया है, पूरे देश में सिटी गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा। हमारे यहां फॉसिल फ्यूल के तौर पर कोयला है और कोल बेड मीथेन जो है एक बड़ी अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी है, क्योंकि कोयला को खत्म हो जाना है। तो क्या भारत सरकार कोयला मंत्रालय के साथ मिलकर कोल बेड मीथेन का एक्सप्लोरेशन कर इंपोर्ट बिल को भी घटाएगी और उसी के माध्यम से सिटी गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करेगी?
Sir, I don't think I am the correct person to answer by when coal will be exhausted or we will move to biogas and other cleaner energies. I can tell you the effort on behalf of all my senior colleagues who are present here and otherwise is to move more and more rapidly in all forms of energy utilization, whether it is transportation or it is the refineries, to move to green energy. And but the specific question on by when coal we will be able to move it, I don't think that is an easy answer, because when the discussion on energy transition took place internationally, very ambitious targets were set for energy transition, but I think some very basic mistakes were also made. You cannot transition from the present to the future unless you have the green fuel ready to transition away from. Because you cannot say, I will stop using coal and fossil fuel like crude oil and suddenly not have the replacement. So today the effort is to redouble on that. Insofar as this is concerned, I have taken recently a review of ONGC, and they have recently started CBM, coal-based methane, in several areas. Again, that's a subject which we need to discuss and see what more can be done. But I can assure you that even the oil marketing companies who have traditionally dealt with fossil fuels and crude oil, they are also increasingly occupying, their attention is being occupied by the transition to green energy.